Hello, good afternoon, you all. This is Jessica from A Diamond in the Sticks YouTube channel, and happy first day of spring. Today is March the 20th, 2025. I'm outside here. It's pretty windy and it looks pretty dreary looking, and it's kind of chilly and cold. And I'm just out here. I'm taking some trash. Got some trash here, and this is what I'm wearing. And I'm taking some trash to the trash bin. But today's the first day of spring according to, I guess you call it, modern day calendars or North American calendars. And that's what I go by. That's what I have to live, the life I live. And I wouldn't even know where to start, to be honest, if we went by like Celtic calendars or actual biblical calendars. But I don't know which one it is for sure. Might be a totally different one. But I know like one of those other calendars that some people go by, it has like New Year starting in January or not January, it has New Year starting actually on today, the first day of spring, on those other calendars. But I don't know what they are or nothing. I don't know how even to go by them or anything. But there's what my safety tank looks like. I already posted a video before this video of the update on my safety tank and what we ended up doing. So it's all a big old pile of you know what, or doo-doo. But in my opinion, I'm sick and tired of fooling with this safety tank. Sick and tired of it. I've dealt with that literal SHIT for now 21 years of living in this house right here. This big old dump, in my opinion. And so, because today's actually my oldest daughter, her birthday, and she turns 21 years old today. And so we've been living over here. When I was about 7 months pregnant with her, we moved into this house here. And then before that, I was living over there in the top of that garage, the brown garage, that barn looking garage. And it doesn't have a bathroom. That belongs to my dad. And so anyways, we was living over there before here, after we had gotten married or whatever, years and years ago. Obviously, I'm divorced now. I have been since 2007. But anyways, I've been going through a divorce since 2007. I think it was actually finalized in 2008. But I could be wrong. I can't remember. I don't keep up with it because it's not good memories to me. I just kind of block everything like that out. As you can tell, though, it's really windy. And honestly, right now, financially, as far as my oldest daughter's birthday goes, I can't afford to do anything because I'm completely broke when it comes to money and stuff. And where I don't get food stamps and I don't qualify for food stamps, we're like pretty much struggling right now when it comes to stuff. So anyways, though, I always try to make it up to her whenever I can, or vice versa, her sister or whatever. If her sister don't get stuff on her birthday, or I don't even get to do like a cake at least or something, I always eventually try to make it up to them. I never forget. So but she is 21 years old today, and she is she don't want to be on camera or nothing. Y'all did kind of see like a glimpse of her the other day with her cat in those short videos I did. And she's about 5'8" or 5'9". She's pretty tall. She's taller than me. And she's she's into like horror movies and I don't know, like anime, kind of like the darker stuff. she always has been into that kind of stuff, you know. And even though I think tattoos are pretty, I don't much believe in them biblically and stuff, because I go by the actual Bible and stuff. But so it broke my heart when she got all them tattoos, and she didn't do it by my account or nothing. But they are pretty, and I do like looking at people's tattoos, don't get me wrong, and stuff. But she has both of her arms, like her sleeves, done, and she's trying to get them completely filled, I believe. So she loves tattoos and stuff, and she has piercings and stuff too. I don't even know where all she's got piercings at now. And she does like to dye her hair and stuff like that. I don't do any of that since I completely personally changed my religious beliefs. Excuse me, I'm burping. But back in, I need to get something to drink. But anyways, I changed my religious beliefs and stuff completely when it comes to a lot of stuff, more towards the Bible back in the year 2014. That's whenever I really started looking into the Bible more, I guess you could say. This is my neighbor's shrub plant bush. It's called a freesia or something, I think is what it's called. Something with an elf, I'm pretty sure. It only blooms out in the spring, and they're real easy to grow. You just basically stick them on the inside of mud, and they'll grow from there. There's really nothing to it. But they've had this one for years, because they had it whenever their mother lived there in that house that he lives in now and stuff. So it's been there a long time. They're a really hardy plant about coming back and stuff. And I'll try to walk you out here to the other side of the mountain here on the pond, and show you across the pond and on the hillside if y'all can see it. Right there in that corner there near that playhouse, you see that yellow stuff on that hill? That's the same plant, and it's all over that hillside. And it just started off from one little shrub that was stuck in the mud or whatever, and it kind of takes over. So it's really invasive or whatever. And so it's better to be grown in a place, unless if you're going to prune it all the time. There's a better view of it there, that yellow plant right there. But it's better if you put it on like a hillside or something like that, that kind of shrub or plant, because it is really invasive and stuff. But anyways, back to my oldest daughter and stuff, where today's her birthday. You can see kind of how windy it is here, and it's cold too. And so I think we're supposed to get a similar weather pattern to what we got last weekend, but not as bad, is what I've been seeing on YouTube, on Ryan Hall, you all's YouTube channel. He's the one that's most local to me, and he actually lives in the county over, the county over where my ex-husband is from, but he lives in Pikeville, the city part. So anyways, yeah, back to my oldest daughter and stuff. She was born at 3:29 in the morning, and she weighed around 8 pounds and 10 ounces when she was born. I mean, not quite 10 ounces, but she was pretty much like there. She was 8 pounds and like 9 ounces or something. And I think she was about 21 inches long. I can't really remember. And the weather that day when she was born, from what I remember, I really can't remember too much, but it was, I think, pretty much basically what it is today. But I think that there might have even been a little bit of snow and stuff. I could be wrong. I could be getting my two daughters confused or whatever. But I think there was a little bit of snow mixed with sunshine and stuff the day she was born. And she was born, obviously, the first day of spring. She shares her birthday with two other people in my family, whether they're distantly kin or not. Oh, that wind is getting strong. It's cold too every time it blows. But she shares her birthday with my cousin on my mother's side's oldest daughter, I think, is the way it goes. It might be their youngest daughter, but I think it's their oldest daughter. And she's younger than what my oldest daughter is. And she also shares her birthday, and I haven't spoken about that in no videos yet, but and I won't go into it in this video either. I'm kind of holding off on certain things I'm going to talk about for later videos, maybe not. But anyways, she's also shares a birthday with my dad's great niece, their daughter, and I won't go in detail about who those people are in this video. I'll just leave it at that. And my oldest daughter is obviously older than her too. And then she also shares a birthday with Donald Trump's son, Barron Trump, because he was born the first day of spring too. And so she shares her birthday with quite a few people and stuff. And so she was born today on March the 20th. And when she was a baby, everybody would call her like the Walmart baby, what the Walmart used to be back then, like a big old happy face, because as a baby, she was one of the sweetest, good babies and easygoing, and she was always smiling. She had a big old happy face, or just like the Walmart symbol used to be on her face when she was a baby. And like I said, now she's kind of more, not necessarily emo, but she does wear like the darker stuff, and she has now for a long time, and she's into more like horror type video games, comic books, posters, anime. She collects like those Funko Pop head things or whatever. And she also collects like beads and crystals and stuff like that. But I'll tell a different story a different time about that stuff, because we had an incident last year in the spring over stuff like that. That stuff is, in my opinion, just like it says in the Bible, I pretty much believe or whatever. Some of that stuff can hold evil spirits or bad energy. I'll just put it at that. But anyways, she's got on her tattoos, her most recent tattoo is that of, I guess it's a TV show now, the Hannibal Lecter, with the clock on top of it, of him on one of her arms. She's also got like an owl on one of her arms. She's always loved owls, and a lot of people, especially in my mother's side of the family, have always loved owls. And my grandmother on my mother's side of the family, she used to collect owls. So yeah, she's got an owl on her. She's also got like a hummingbird with a bunch of flowers on one of her arms, and she got that because my mother loves hummingbirds. And she's pretty much, I won't go into it on this video, but she's pretty much lived with my mother mostly on and off ever since the year of 2018. And so she got that out of that because she's obviously blinded by my mother, and in my opinion, and she got that for her or whatever. But anyways, she's also got like a little sherb, but it has like spider webs for its wings. And she, I don't know what else she has, to be honest, but she has quite a few tattoos now that she's gotten ever since she turned like 18 or 19 years old, on her sleeves. And I've never took her to get no tattoos or nothing like that, because like I said, I think they're pretty, and my younger self would have, if I had ever had the money or the chance or opportunity, I probably would have been covered over in tattoos myself, because I love art and I think tattoos are really pretty and stuff. And I know I have a lot of people on here I'm friends with, other YouTubers that have tattoos, and I'm not trying to like judge you all or nothing, so please don't think that over your tattoos. Like I said, I really do think they're pretty and beautiful. It's just that me, religiously now, I can't wear tattoos, and it breaks my heart for my daughter, that because she's my daughter, and obviously I worry about her and her soul just like I would do my own self. And anyways, I know in the Bible you're not supposed to get tattoos, and look at that bag while I'm looking at it. I just don't notice that. Those are the cheapest bags. They rip worse than paper. Those cheap bags like that. I'll have to go inside, find another garbage bag, and come out here and put that one in a different garbage bag now where that one's ripped. You do nothing, barely even touch them, and they rip like that. But anyways, yeah, like I said, ever since the year 2014 and stuff, I've kind of like changed my religious beliefs, and I more literally take the Bible for every word seriously, like literally or whatever. So that's pretty much like where I am on my religious point of views or whatever. And so ever since 2014, I started like, I had my ears pierced, and I did used to have my ears pierced quite a few times on each ear. And or I had them pierced twice on each ear, and then I had them pierced once on one ear at the main top. But I pretty much don't wear like jewelry or earrings or nothing, and because of what it says in the Bible. That's just my opinion and my religious belief or whatever. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I have wore it since 2014, because back in like 2022, whenever we went on a cruise right before that big flood happened, that was the only cruise I ever been on, and we did it through like a bus touring company. We actually went to the Bimini part of the Bahamas, and that was my favorite place I'd ever been to as far as beaches goes. But I did put earrings in for that cruise, just whenever we did like the fancy photos or the formal photos or whatever it's called, formal night or whatever, like with the formal dinner that you're supposed to have with the captain. So I did wear earrings then, but I haven't wore earrings since then. So I've let my hose grow up, and I don't ever plan on hopefully wearing earrings again or jewelry. It's just something I don't personally believe in no more. And even like when it comes to like wedding bands and engagement rings and stuff like that, I just personally don't believe in it. I think that that's something that was made up over here in the, like, I don't know if it was the 1800s or 1900s or what it was here in America, and it just got commercialized, in my opinion, just like everything else does. And it's not biblical, in my opinion. It's just an object that was made up to make some money off of or whatever, in my opinion. But anyways, I don't know who that is, but I want to check the temperature here. Might be somebody coming to visit my oldest daughter where it's her birthday. She has one friend that she hangs out with a lot, and that might be it. Might be who it is, or no, I don't know. They're going to my dad's driveway, so I could be wrong. But anyways, back to my daughter, my oldest daughter, where it's her birthday and stuff. She has different tastes and like flavors and stuff than what I have. She's like her dad. She's always loved like this time of year when they come out with the mint drinks from like McDonald's and different places. She's always loved them, and I can't stand to eat or drink anything that's mint flavored like that, that's supposed to be like a dessert or something. Now every now and then I'll eat like those Andes mints, but not hardly ever will I, or anything. To me it's just like if a person, but that's why it's different strokes for different folks or whatever, but to me it's just like if you're gonna eat or drink something that's mint flavored like that, it's just like eating a tube of toothpaste, in my opinion, or whatever. But she gets that from her dad because her dad's always been like that. He loves mint flavored things, and I won't even taste it like to do a food review or nothing because it's not worth it to me because I don't like it. So that's kind of how like we're different from each other or whatever. And too, she likes them dreamsicle like milkshakes and stuff that they'll come out with and stuff a lot of times. She does like them, and I do like those though. I will try those every now and then. I'm just not crazy about them or nothing. And then also used to, she would always ask for a lemon flavored cake for her birthday, but and we would pay someone to make it for her, like a specialty place or whatever. But anymore, last few years, she's not been asking for that. And I'm okay with lemon flavored stuff, but I'm not like really, really fond of it or nothing. But she likes stuff like that, and so we're a lot different whenever it comes to our taste and things too. As you can see over here, they're being really loud, the neighbors are. My oldest daughter is actually out there standing with them too. But anyways, you can see over here on this tree of my uncle's, and that's probably what we're having. I don't know for sure, and because I really don't know as far as like the Farmer's Almanac goes on keeping it with the times of the seasons or whatever. But I know it's always in the spring. I know we always get like it's called a red bud winter, and that's what that right there tree is in front of me. It's about to bloom out. That's called a red bud tree, and that one over there too is called a red bud tree. And then I know too, like I think it's closer to the latter part of the spring, we always get something called Indian summer, and so that's whenever it warms up, kind of takes a warm spell. But in the redbud winter, we'll have like a cold spell. And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, I'm pretty sure there's something called blackberry winter whenever the blackberries are starting to bloom out. And so we'll get like a cold spell and stuff on it too. But as far as my general knowledge though goes, and I wish I was more knowledgeable and stuff like that, but I really couldn't tell you like when the exact times or seasons for stuff like that is. And also, I can't tell you like the actual names of certain plants that's local to me, or birds or species or anything like that really. So I wish I did have that knowledge though. I think that would be really resourceful. I think every person should know what's near them, whatever environment they live in, with whatever location they live in the United States or wherever they live at. I think that that's knowledge that should be taught in schools, but it wasn't in my time period. It was never taught, and it wasn't in neither one of my daughter's time periods either. But it was taught in my mother's time period, because I remember whenever I was younger growing up, and she would talk about it and stuff. And let me step up here on my porch, my front porch. I want to kind of show you all, and I'm going to try to take y'all to somewhere in Whitesburg that has really pretty, beautiful Bradford pear trees when they're bloomed out. You can see that wind is getting strong. It's been like that all day long, and it's been really cold and chilly all day long today too. But up there is a Bradford pear tree. You can't really see them, of my neighbors. The white looking blooms on the trees. Those are called, I think they're called Bradford pear. It might be Barkley pear, I'm not sure, but it's some kind of pear tree, I'm pretty sure. And everything's really wet and muddy here too, where they've been trying to work on that septic and stuff. And then it's continued to rain and stuff too, and it looks like we'll be getting more rain. There's some moss that comes up around here. It just comes up here naturally. Excuse me. I'll show you we have 2 septic tanks. And so I think they're like, I'm not positive, but I think they're like 10,000 gallons a piece. But I'm not sure. Anyways, though, wind to take your breath away. It's so cold and stuff. But yeah, I wish that I did have more knowledge on what was local to me, the environment or location that I have to live in and stuff, on what grows around me and stuff like that. I know here in Kentucky, as far as like species of insects go, we do have one of the most dangerous spiders. It's called a brown recluse. And I've never actually seen one to my knowledge, but I know they're here, and they're here heavily, I can't say that word, heavenly, oh, I can't say it, I'm sorry you guys. They're here heavily, I cannot say that word, but anyways, the brown recluse spiders are in this location and stuff, really stronghold or whatever, this area, especially in dark, wet places. That's where they like to be at and stuff. And then too, we do have black widow spiders, and I have seen them before. I've seen them lots of times in my lifetime. And we also have those, I think they're called whittler or rider spiders, and they're like the ones that you would see, like the ones that, even though they're not colored like that around here, they're colored like really black, but they have a bright yellow belly or back to them, and they're called either, I don't know if they're called whittler or rider spiders, but they're the ones that was based on the Charlotte's Web cartoon, where she does like all the writing in her spider web to try to promote the pig and stuff, whatever his name was, I forgot. It's been so long since I've seen that movie. It's a cute little movie though, cute little cartoon. I just don't watch cartoons much anymore or nothing. But anyways, that's the kind of spider that and I have seen those too here quite a few times. And the first time I ever seen one, because its back and its stomach is so bright colored, like a neon colored, yellow looking color, it scared me to death because I thought anything that's so bright colored like that is poisonous. That's just what I thought, what went through my head and stuff whenever I seen it and everything. But I don't think they're actually poisonous. I think they're kind of harmless, is what I was told, but I could be wrong. I think that they're just like any other spider species, I guess. They're made for eating bugs and pests and stuff like that, mosquitoes and stuff like that. And let's see, we have, as far as like snakes and stuff like that goes, we have a, what is that called? We have a copperhead snake, and I've seen a copperhead snake a few times, and it's poisonous. It's like a brown, sometimes it's like it can be different colors of the same colors or whatever. It could be like in the brown tones. It can be like in the yellow or gold tones. It can even have like black in through it or gray. But I have seen that quite a few times and stuff. I used to have a flower bed here, guys, at my feet. I had like a concrete path like years and years ago where I first moved over here. I had like a concrete path and all kinds of flowers right through here, all across there. And I had like an archway, but then I took it down and got rid of it. But anyways, so we have like we do have green snakes, but green snakes are so rare around here, like seeing them and stuff. If you see one and you catch one and you live around here, you'll keep it alive, because like you'll take it, I guess, to the game warden or somewhere, and I don't know, last time I checked, they will pay you like $800. I'm sure it's went up because they're so rare. Might be $600 though, I'm not really sure. I just know you get lots of money, or good money, if you're very low income or poor. If you find one of those type of snakes and stuff around here. That wind is really blowing. It's really cold too. But a lot of times, I've not seen one since I was a young child, and I can barely even remember seeing it then. But a lot of times people will find them, and they'll take those snakes and stuff and sell them, which they sell other types of snakes around here too that are poisonous and stuff. But I don't do nothing like that. Now, I know it was like about 3 or 4 years ago that they found a green snake up at my mom's old house, the one that my brother's living in now. And I think they just played with it. And I guess they set it free. I don't know what they did. But they found it because it's green colored. It's like really dark green colored. So it blends into nature and stuff. It's more like a lime green tone whenever you find them usually. And usually when you find them, they're not going to be big. They're going to be itty bitty and stuff. But they're really rare. I would almost say they're probably about to be extinct because they're so rare about finding them. But here in Eastern Kentucky is one of the locations that you can find them at and stuff. And like I said, if you find one, you can sell them, and they're worth pretty good money for around here, you know, and stuff. So you would definitely probably want to take it to someone who's interested in it and sell it, probably like your local game warden or something like that. And then but they're usually found around, because they kind of camouflage themselves and blend into their environments. And so usually when you find them, you're going to find them around plants and stuff like that, or wrapped around like tree branches and stuff like that, because they blend into their environments. They're really cool looking snakes, which obviously green is one of my favorite colors too. So it's probably one of my top favorite colors. I like all colors. I mostly like pastels, but I love the color green. I always have. And so back to the copperheads and stuff, a lot of times you'll find them like on roads in the summertime when it gets real hot because they're trying to warm themselves up. Or like here in the spring, you'll find them like inside of kids' toys and underneath the cars. I'm gonna go back up here on my front porch, but you'll find them in people's vehicles. You'll find them like little outside toys or pools or trampolines, sidewalks, door frames. And a lot of times too, I've seen them before a lot. I see a lot of copperheads around here where I live at in the summertime. And I mostly see them next to the bank of the pond because they like to lay on them rocks next to the pond and stuff and get warm. And they also like to cross that little road there next to the pond and get warm and stuff. And a lot of times too, people will mistake copperheads, and that's how they get bit, for water snakes, because they do look so similar to each other, obviously. And that's why it's so confusing and stuff. And that brings also, I just remembered that, sorry guys, but my oldest daughter does have a tattoo of a snake too on her arm. And I don't know what kind of snake it is or nothing, but she's got a little snake on one of her arms too, of her tattoos. Anyways, water snakes kind of look like copperheads, but one way of obviously telling like a poisonous snake, but sometimes it can be deceitful and confusing and stuff, is like with a poisonous snake, it's going to have the triangle eyes, but who's going to get so close to a snake like that just to see if it's poisonous or not? If I see snakes, I just try to stay away from them because I am a little bit scared of snakes. And I really don't like insects either, and bugs that much. And I used to be terrified of spiders, and I used to hate that movie, but I would sit and watch it just because or whatever whenever I was younger. Arachnophobia about the spiders and stuff. But now I can kill spiders and stuff because now my girls are like me, even though my oldest daughter has tattoos and she watches and loves that kind of stuff. She's still like a gentle giant and or a big old teddy bear, and she's always been like that. And she's just a real sweet girl and real quiet and real good girl and stuff. But anyways, she is scared to death of like bugs and spiders and stuff like that. And so is my youngest daughter, and they still get, my youngest daughter is 15 years old, and they still get us to like kill bugs and spiders and insects and stuff like that for them. And they hate them things, and those things are really, really bad ever since they started appearing here in Kentucky. I forgot what those things are called. I don't know if they're called stink bugs or what they're called, but they get in the house, all over the house, all the time. So they're really, really bad around here. I hate them things too because they're just annoying. But that's why I keep so many inside my house and stuff. That's why I keep so many of the fly swats and stuff, is so I can kill bugs and stuff, because we have a real pest control problem here in eastern Kentucky whenever it gets warm in the summertime. And so that's one reason why I will keep that. And we do find a lot of them. We find spiders in the house too, a lot, but I don't really know what they are. I think they're just house spiders and stuff. I can only remember seeing a brown recluse spider one time. It was whenever my daughter was a baby, and it was actually when my brothers, because they're around the same age obviously and stuff, my brother's daughter was a baby too, and it was actually for my brother's birthday in the summertime, and it was in this little cabin house that he used to own and he used to have, but that whole place got burnt down and stuff years ago. And so anyways, it was like crawling from the ceiling, and it was in the light, and that's the only reason that we seen it and stuff. But that's the only one I've seen like up close in person in years. So I haven't seen them that often. I'm sure there's been times that I've killed them, because spiders they love eastern Kentucky. They love places like this because where it is so wet, and they love damp, more moist, damp places like this, especially like my yard and my house and stuff. And I found all kinds of black widow spiders like underneath in my house, and black widow spiders are poisonous too. But I just think that the brown recluse spiders, they blend in so much and they can hide so easy that you have a hard time seeing them or finding them or anything. And then we also have other spiders, but I don't know what all other kinds. I know growing up, whenever I was a child and stuff, we would find all kinds of daddy long-legged spiders, or that's what we would call them. And we haven't found none in years, but we used to find those all the time, like whenever I was growing up and stuff. And what I was told one time, a story that took place here in eastern Kentucky, years ago, whenever my uncle, he's passed away back in 2017, but my uncle I was really, really close to, and I loved dearly, and I thought of him as like my uncle, my best friend, kind of like a soulmate, and also like just a uncle, a mommy, a daddy, and everything he was to me and stuff. He was just, I really loved him. But anyways, he passed away back in 2017 from cancer. But anyways, he was telling me a story many years ago about daddy long-legged spiders, and I don't know if y'all know what those look like or not, but they're real skinny and kind of big and long. Just their legs is really, really skinny and long. And anyways, he loved coffee. He was one of the types of people, he could drink coffee and stuff in the summertime whenever it was like in the 90s or 100 degrees outside, or even if he'd been working all day or whatever, he could come back inside and he wouldn't go to get like something cold to drink or nothing. He'd go to get a hot glass of coffee, and which he would drink his with lots of sugar. I mean, he would probably put like 10 packs of sugar in his coffee and stuff. And a lot of coffee's always, ever since I've been alive, coffee's always been a big thing here in eastern Kentucky. So like all of my relatives on either side have mostly always drunk coffee. They just might, some of them might drink it black, and then some of them just might add a lot of creamers and sugar and stuff to them. But hardly ever do you find anyone in my family, especially my mother's side of the family, that doesn't drink coffee. So it's a big thing. Coffee is in eastern Kentucky in general. You hear lots of people in eastern Kentucky from all over the place, or just central Kentucky too, talking about drinking coffee. So coffee's always been cool and popular on these parts of the country. But anyways, back to the story that he told me one time. He told me that, and this really happened, but I don't remember the person's name or nothing, but daddy long-legged spiders are not poisonous until what had happened. See, one time somebody was drinking a cup of coffee here in eastern Kentucky, and a daddy long-legged spider climbed inside of their coffee, and they didn't know that it climbed inside of there and it had melted. And so whenever it did that, it became the most poisonous spider that there is in that consistency or density, or however you say it. And so once it melted in the coffee, it became so poisonous like that, and it killed that person who was drinking it instantly. But that's what they found out had happened to them. And that's a true story that happened here in eastern Kentucky and stuff. But we do still see daddy long-legged spiders and stuff. We do still see them from time to time, because there are actually a lot of them around here. And I remember the first time I seen a black widow spider around here, because they're black, like a glossy looking black, and they have this little red air glass looking thing on them, bright red looking little air glass thing on them. Most things I've learned in life when it comes to critters and stuff, or insects and stuff like that, or snakes or whatever, if they're really bright colored, stay the heck away from them, because more than likely they're going to be poisonous, and you don't even want to try to get around something that's poisonous because you don't know if they have an antidote for it. Now, a lot of times the hospitals around here, even our little small local hospital, they will keep an antidote at the hospital for black widow spiders and for brown recluse spiders, and for like snakes and stuff like that, for the copperhead snakes. We also do have rattlesnakes, but I don't think that there's anywhere around here. Like, there is rattlesnakes in eastern Kentucky, but you have to go looking for them, and they're probably getting to become like a how do you say that, a rare species, or what, however you say that. I know I'm not using the right correct word, but I can't think of it right now. I'm dumbfounded. But anyways, you all know what I'm talking about. Like, they're becoming, what is that word? I can't think of it right now. I'm sorry, you guys. But anyways, their species is becoming, I can't think of it. I'm so sorry. But anyways, they're becoming rare and stuff like that. But they are found around here in eastern Kentucky, even in the county that I live in. It's just where you go to find them at. They're usually on big, huge mountains, bigger than this mountain behind me. And they're usually like on the cliff lines of mountains is where you'll find like your rattlesnakes and stuff like that. You'll also find copperheads and stuff like that. But copperheads are more than likely worse about coming out where people live at and trying to get like warm and stuff like that, so they don't really much want to hide like in the cliff lines and stuff in the mountains and stuff like that. But anyways, they also have water snakes around here, and I do see water snakes all the time in the pond, just like sometimes I will see copperheads a lot in the pond and stuff. And that wind is getting really strong. But a lot of times I will mistake, like whenever I'm walking that road right there, I'm bad about mistaking, because the copperheads and the water snakes love to lay like on that bank right there next to the pond, or even inside the road there. And sometimes I will mistake either or for each other. So you got to really watch out on stuff like that whenever you live in eastern Kentucky or the eastern United States, I'm assuming anyways. And then we also have black snakes around here, and a lot of people don't mess with the black snakes, and I don't either, because black snakes are actually, in ways, even though they're not poisonous, they're stronger than what a copperhead snake is, and they can like fight off a copperhead snake. And so a lot of people will keep those around, and plus black snakes are really good about eating like other critters like mice and rats and other pests like that. And one time, whenever my oldest daughter, the one whose birthday is today, she was about 3 or 4 years old, I was standing on top of my back porch there, and my aunt that lives in that house there, she was in her backyard, and we seen this huge, and I mean huge, it was so big, it was a big old black snake, and I mean it was massive, and it was crawling like right in between here. When this bush was little, you could see it crawling like right in between here on this bush right here, and it was just taking its time and being slow and crawling, and it was a massive black snake, and it was probably about, even back then, that thing was huge. It was probably about 4 inches wide, maybe 5. It was huge, because I remember I was scared to death for my oldest daughter, and I had to get her. She was out in the yard playing, and I had to get her and put her up on the porch with me. And then my aunt ended up going to her back porch too and just watching it, and we was just like freaking out watching it. You could tell it was really going slow because the thing was so massive, but it was probably about 6 feet long back then. Well, anyways, and I'm pretty sure it's the same old snake. I don't know how long they live or nothing. But, and like I said, that was when my oldest daughter was about 3 or 4 years old, and she's 21 years old today. But I heard a few years ago that one of my neighbors down there, the neighbor that has the black looking barn over there, he keeps chickens, and, or he used to anyways. And he had like a chicken coop, and where he go to collect his eggs and stuff, they said that is what this story was told to my dad, and my dad's the one that told me. Anyways, the woman one time that he had as a girlfriend years ago, I mean this was probably like 3 or 4 years ago or longer, but he had a black snake that was down there. So I guarantee that black snake that I seen that day when my daughter was just like 3 or 4 years old, I bet that's where it went to, because they was talking about how big that snake was and how scared the girlfriend that he used to have, which she passed on. But anyways, she was so scared about cleaning up or going to gather up chicken eggs. And so she was always afraid of that big black snake, because it would just stay around that chicken coop and guard kind of like those eggs and the egg bin and stuff. And so she was scared to death of it. And they was talking about how unreal the size of it was, that snake was, so how big it was. Another type of snake that we have around here, so really a lot of people keep black snakes. Black snakes are a good snake to have around here because of pests and different things. And then another type of snake that we have around here, a lot of people call them stripers or racers, and they can look 2 or 3 different ways, and they can get mistaken, and they're feisty little snakes and stuff, especially when they're little babies and stuff. Oh yeah, and another thing I forgot to tell you about copperhead snakes. When copperhead snakes, and this actually did happen to me one time in the old flower bed that I was showing y'all before I moved it, when I was transplanting the flowers or whatever, I was digging in around that flower bed, and I came up, I digged into a little patch of these little things. They look like worms. They look identical to worms. It's so good that I did not touch them and stuff, because the baby copperheads are more poisonous than the big copperhead snakes. And they look like worms when they're babies. And that's what it looked like. I knew it was something weird. That's why I didn't touch them. But knowing me, I'm kind of dumb like that. I'm bad about doing stuff like that. But I was blessed or lucky or whatever that day. And that happened around 2015. But I was digging into the ground, and I dug into just a patch of little baby copperheads, but they look like little worms. I mean, there was like a bunch of them together, and I'm so glad that they didn't try to strike me or come at me or nothing either. I just got up out of there because I knew something wasn't right. And then actually, I told y'all in another video yesterday, I was talking about my relationships with other family members, like my aunts and uncles or whatever. So I instantly, that's back whenever I was talking to them, I got on the phone with one of my aunts, And I was telling her about it, and she was like telling me, no, don't get around that and stuff, because that's baby copperheads and stuff, you know. And so I probably would have died with that many like little babies. There was a whole bunch of them, you know, like probably about 10 or 12 or more, but they was all together and stuff. And the babies are more poisonous than the adult snakes are. And then also, let's see, we have those things called stripers or racers, and they can look a few different ways. And I've seen them before over in the bottom. I've seen them all over the place, but different colored. But anyways, the ones I've seen over in the bottom, whenever my parents used to have like strawberries and raise strawberries for the farmers market that's local to me and stuff, they don't do that no more. But because it's kind of pointless to do that around here, unless if you're into it big time and you got all kinds of extra money to waste. You really don't. In other words, you really don't come out evenly by raising something like that around here, because those strawberry plants that you can get are like $4,000 for a whole bunch of them or whatever. And so you really don't, you basically just break even. You don't really gain anything from raising them. So that's why they quit. And there's so much work and stuff too. And they had like the black colored plastic that they put down before they put their plants and stuff. But anyways, one time I was over there gathering up strawberries and picking strawberries or whatever. And whenever I was being over to pick up the strawberries and stuff, I thought it was weird because I kept seeing something long and black next to me inside the strawberry plants that I was like on my knees and stuff picking. And I kept seeing this long yellow streak going down it, and I didn't know what it was. And every now and then I would hear like rustling and stuff over there in the strawberry plants, and I didn't know if it was like a mouse or mice or rats or a bunny or a rabbit or whatever it was. I didn't know what it was in the bushes of the strawberry plants. And then there from and it looked like the strawberry plant too. You know how like in the strawberry plants they'll have like these bright yellow colored centers? Well, anyways, eventually as I was sitting there going through the strawberry plants, about 5 or 6 feet away from me one day, I seen this huge black snake with a yellow streak line going all down the middle of it. And it was just crossing those rows of the strawberry bushes and stuff. And so after I seen that, I got out of there, because I didn't know at the time whether or not if that snake was poisonous or not. So, because I had such a bright yellow colored streak going down it. But those are the ones that you can call them streakers. A lot of people call them streakers. A lot of people call them rat snakes. And they're also, some people will call them racers. Now, what I call racers is, and it's usually, I guess it's the same snake, I'm assuming. I don't know for sure or nothing. Because like I said, I don't know completely everything about reptiles and insects and stuff around here in my environment. I just know bits and pieces, and I'm just telling you what I do know. But anyways, the racer snakes, a lot of times you'll find them when they're babies. They're like itty bitty things, and they're really good too about fighting off other snakes and stuff too. And they're also good about eating. They're pretty much harmless. They're not poisonous. Neither one of them two are poisonous snakes that I know of or nothing. But they're really good about eating mice and stuff like that too. And they're really fast. That's why they call them racers, I guess. But they also they're black in the color. And around their necks, they'll have like a bright yellow ring around their necks when they're babies and stuff like that. I guess they don't change. I guess they're like that when they're adults too. But they're in the same family is what streakers are. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all I know about the snakes around here. I don't think we're as far south to have anything like a water moccasin snake or anything. And I think you would find that like in Florida or somewhere. I don't even think they're up to like South Carolina or nowhere like that yet. And so we don't have nothing like that. And we don't have my favorite kind of snake ever since I learned about it. One time when we went on vacation years ago when my oldest daughter was little and I just had her, we went to a place called Edisto Island. It's in around North Carolina and South Carolina, like kind of in between. It's close to Myrtle Beach in North Carolina or South Carolina, wherever the heck it's at. I think they're all in between, kind of like, or whatever. But anyways, there's a place in Edisto Island before you go out to the island part. It's called the Serpentarium, and it's been like on the History Channel before and other TV shows in the past years ago, because it's kind of like famous for a reptile zoo or whatever. And anyways, we went there, and that was the first time I'd seen in person and heard that little saying that goes with that. And I just always thought that was cute and enjoyed that and liked that and stuff. And that's why they kind of became my favorite kind of snake, even though they're poisonous or whatever. But anyways, the coral snakes are in the southern part of the United States, the southern eastern part of the United States. And I don't know how far up north they go. I think they do go into North Carolina, but probably not real far. But I'm kind of surprised that we don't have them around here, because you know how ever so often, I guess decades or centuries later, stuff kind of migrates just like how humans do. And I think sometimes we get just about the same weather for the most part, as far as the humidity goes and how hot it gets and stuff like that, is what a lot of other southeastern states get, like South Carolina and North Carolina. Maybe not as hot and humid or nothing, but it just kind of surprises me that we don't have any of those snakes around here yet or nothing. But anyways, the coral snakes, the reason why they're my favorite colored or kind of snake and stuff is because, well, they have two different sayings that goes with them. And the sayings go, they're always either a red, yellow, and black colored snake. But the sayings that goes with it, they can be colored two different ways. One way is not poisonous, but you still wouldn't want to get close enough to even take the chance to get bit by one, obviously. And then one way is poisonous. So what the sayings goes that goes with that snake, and they're mostly native to South Carolina or Florida, places like that, on further down south. But it goes, red touches black, stay back. Red touches yellow, kill a fellow. So that's my favorite kind of snake that there is. And then I've seen like them great big old yellow snakes. They kind of look like miniature pythons. I forgot the name of them. And they have like little legs on them. And people will say like when they teach their zoo trainers or whatever, like at that place, at that Serpentarium, they'll say like, oh, that was before evolution or whatever. But I mean, obviously I don't believe in evolution or anything, but or after evolution or whatever. But anyways, we don't have neither one of those types of snakes around here. We don't have boa constrictors. I'm not even sure if there's even boa constrictors in the United States. I think that's another country thing, like probably over in like, I don't know, I'm just guessing. That's probably like over in like South Africa or somewhere. I'm not really sure. And then we don't have pythons or nothing like that. That's also probably something that's more so, unless if you buy them commercially or something like that, that's something that's also located more so over in another country like South Africa or somewhere. And so we don't have those type of snakes around here. I'm not really sure if we have any more snakes. I think we have what is called rat snakes, and they're not poisonous or nothing. I think they're just kind of massive and kind of good about fighting. But I've never really seen one around here and stuff. I think we have them though, or if not, they're more of a central Kentucky snake. I know I follow a site on social media on Facebook, and it talks about all the snakes and stuff here in Kentucky that's local to you and stuff. And it's like a snake identification group on Facebook. So if you're all interested, y'all can look into that or look it up. But it's really handy and helpful. But I know a lot of things that's bad about when it starts getting warm here in the springtime. A lot of people will have emergencies because they'll get bit by either the brown recluse spiders or the copperhead snakes and stuff. And I've had family members that's gotten bit by the copperheads, and a lot of times children will get bit by copperhead snakes, especially, and it's bad whenever they get bit by the baby snakes or whatever. It's almost fatal when they get bit by that. But a lot of times you'll find them like in flower pots, underneath and around cars and vehicles and metal places and plants and stuff, planters like that, and different things. And I've actually found a snake before. That brings me to another snake story. I've actually, years ago, whenever I first moved over here, I was actually digging into a flower pot one time, but it was just a black snake. But still, I didn't like it at all. And I actually was digging in. That's twice that I've been digging in the dirt or mud or something. And I've dug into some kind of snake, because the snakes come out of the ground or whatever. But anyways, I was digging into one of my flower pots I used to have years ago. And whenever I did that, there was a snake hanging out the side of it. I wasn't digging into it that low, but it was a black snake, and it was a pretty good size one actually too and stuff whenever I was doing that. But I don't think we have, as far as other species goes, we do have both types of owls around here. We have the hoot owls and we have the screech owls. I don't think we have any other types. We don't have like pigs, like wild boar pigs. We don't have that here in eastern Kentucky. That's not came that far up north yet. I'm kind of surprised that hasn't happened yet though either. Just like the thing with the coral snakes. I'm kind of surprised that stuff like that hasn't migrated that far up north yet, because like I said, even we get a mixture of all types of seasons of weather. But in the summertime, sometimes if it's not raining all the time, we'll get like really high temperatures. But we also, it's not like how it is out west. You don't, like out west, you don't have hardly any humidity at all out there. It's really nice. But here in eastern Kentucky, we'll get like really high humidity levels. So high it suffocates you, and you don't want to go outside because it feels like you're walking into an oven. And so, just like how it would be down south and stuff. But I've never gotten used to those type of temperatures or nothing myself or anything. A lot of people just adapt to different things like that and get used to it. But I don't, and I haven't or nothing. But I guess I'll get off here, you guys, and maybe talk some more about some of that stuff a different time. But I need to get off here and go get my youngest daughter from school and stuff. She's gone at school right now, and I'm sure it's getting about time to go pick her up. So I gotta go get in line and go pick her up. So I'll get off of here and stuff. But yeah, today's my oldest daughter's birthday. So I would appreciate, even though she really don't watch my YouTube channel that I know of, and she kind of wants to be stayed off of it. Her name is Tessa, because my name is Jessica. And anyways, I'll tell a story a different day. I'll make a short on it or something about the reason why I named my daughters what I named them. But anyways, her name is Tessa, if y'all want to wish her a happy birthday. And today she's 21 years old. And I'd appreciate it if you did. And I appreciate all of y'all who watch my channel. And I thank y'all for watching. And I'll get off here and I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks. Bye-bye.